Welcome to another episode. In today's episode, we'll be seeing the question answer session. The question is how do I absolutely do anything without being attached to the fruits of activities? That is, how do you carry out any activity without having attachment to the fruits? There are two ways to look at this. One is finding out who is attached, that is through jnana, through knowledge, understanding who is attached. If you find out beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts, beyond the words, there is nobody. So there is no attachment. There is no one who is carrying out the action or no one attached to that. That is the method of jnana. And the other is through bhakti, the love for God, through compassion. And in that you surrender yourself completely to the God, if you believe in God. Then you are not attached to any action or fruits of action. First we will see about the jnana, the method of knowledge. A few lines from Who Am I of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Who am I? I am not the gross body which is composed of the minerals naturally occurring atoms, that is called humus or seven dhatus. I am not five cognitive sense organs. I am not the sense organs, the sense of hearing, touch, smell, sight, taste. I am not that. I am not the five cognitive sense organs, the organs of speech, locomotion, grasping, procreation, excretion. I am not that. I am not the five vital airs, prana, etc. I am not the mind which thinks, which is endowed with the residual impressions, that is memory. Mind is basically the experience, the memory, the thoughts. So I am not that. If I am none of this, then who am I? That question arises. After negating all this, as this is not this, not this, then what is left? What is left is only awareness, the consciousness. I am only that. So when you are only consciousness, awareness, there is no attachment. There is no person who is attached. When there is mind, mind is attached. The thoughts attach you to the objects. When there is no thought, when there is no mind, there is nothing to attach you. And second is through surrender to God. We will see this through a story by Rama's will, the story of the Viva, from Sri Ramakrishna Pramahamsa's Tales and Parables. Once there lived a Viva in a village. He is a very pious man. He was worshipping his God, Lord Rama. He was very humble and a simple man, very pious. And whenever people came to buy clothes from him, he used to say, by the will of God, the price of the cloth is 4 rupees. By the will of the God, the weaving charges are 6 rupees. By the will of the God, profit is 2 rupees. So totally 12 rupees. That is what he used to say. And people respected him for his humbleness. And without any argument, they used to buy from him. He never cheated on anything. He was very humble. And he believed everything happens by the will of his favorite god, Rama. And every word, every sentence he also used to utter by the will of Rama. One day he finished his job. It was late in the evening, so he finished his dinner also, and he was sitting outside his home in the veranda, enjoying the breeze of the open air, night breeze. And at that time, there were some thieves who wanted to steal from the rich man's house, which was close by. When they saw this poor weaver, a humble, innocent man sitting there, they thought, this is the right man to carry our luggage. We require a porter. Why we should carry? We will take this guy. They forcibly took him on their robbery. They went to the rich man's house, robbed the house, carried all the valuables, kept on the head of the weaver. By the time someone informed the police came running. They surrounded the robbers. The robbers, on seeing the police, ran away. They all escaped. But this poor innocent guy, he was not a robber, so he did not run. And the weight of the stolen gold and cash was heavy, and he could not run also. And he was so innocent that he did not had the intention of running also. So he was caught by the police. Police took him to the magistrate. Next day, presented. The night he was lodged in the jail, and next day morning he was taken to the court. And when the magistrate asked him, he saw this poor fellow, and he asked him what happened. He said, by the will of God, I finished my work. By the will of the God, I was sitting, I had my dinner. By the will of Rama, I sat and enjoyed the cool breeze outside my house. By the will of the God, the robbers came. By the will of the God, they took me forcibly to the rich man's house. By the will of the God, they stole all the riches. By the will of the Rama, they kept on my head all the stolen goods. By the will of the God, the police came. By the will of God, I was caught. By the will of God, I am now standing before you. So the magistrate was a little bit wondering. This fellow seems to be so innocent and humble. How could he be a thief? And on hearing about this incident, the villagers came running to the court. They told, this guy is innocent. We know him. Very well. He is staying for generations in our village. He is a very humble and pious man. He never does anything false, wrong. So on hearing the villagers' statement, on hearing the statement of this humble man, the magistrate released him. He has not done anything wrong on his own, and he was forcibly taken by the robbers. It is not his mistake, and he never participated in the robbery. He was a unwilling witness, unwilling man. So on saying that, the magistrate released him and told the police to catch the real robbers. And whenever people asked him what happened, he said, by the will of the Rama, I was caught by the police, and by will of Rama, I was released by the magistrate. So everything he surrendered to the God, his favorite God Rama. So everything he said, it is by the will of the Rama, happened by the will of the Rama. He was never attached to any fruits of action, anything negative or positive. Everything he dedicated to the God. So these are the two ways of attaining or not having the fruits of action, not leaving any imprints. One is through jnana, finding out there is nobody to catch the imprints except the mind and the thoughts. When you understand that there is no attachment to any action. And second is by surrendering all your actions and fruits of actions to your favorite God, if you believe in God. So these are the two ways of being without any attachment to fruits of action. With this, we will end this story, this episode, question and answer session. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Thank you.